These are the Spider-Man villains that I think are most likely to go into the Joe Rogan podcast. Because at number 3, we have Kraven the Hunter. I think this makes total sense, as Kraven is on a wild game meat-only diet, which Joe would probably ask him about the health benefits of. They would talk a lot about eating meat and how great hunting is. They would really bond about these, like, caveman activities, I think. It would be a lot like the Liver King interview. Kraven would be a lot more threatening and also not fake. There's no way you can take on a grizzly in hand-to-hand combat. Jamie, pull up that clip of the guy getting ripped apart by a grizzly, after which Kraven might rip Joe apart on camera, who knows. Number 2, this is also an obvious guess to me, is Norman Osborn. I think Joe would credit all of the inventions Oscorp had all to Norman. He would completely ignore all the engineers like Otto Octavius and all the others and just credit them all to Norman. He would probably call him one of the smartest men alive. I think Norman will smoke weed and drink booze with Joe on the podcast. I think that's going to happen. I think he might even go Goblin mode a little bit. It's crazy how the media is treating you. They're calling you Green Goblin when you're really one of the smartest men alive. It's number 1, I think this is an obvious fit. I think it's the one that's most likely to happen is J. Jonah Jameson. I think this would be very similar in tone and content to the Alex Jones episodes. Just a lot of crazy conspiracy theories. They would definitely talk about Spider-Man most of the time and about how evil he thinks Spider-Man is. Joe might even like come his way a little bit. I could see him saying something like, oh, I'm not saying Spider-Man is evil, but I just think it's crazy that nobody wants to listen to your side of the story. I think he would talk a lot about J. Jonah Jameson being blacklisted from the media. They might come to a very smart, insightful conclusion like, oh, you know, back in the day, you could still have differing opinions about Spider-Man without being blacklisted by mainstream media. Because it is entirely possible that Spider-Man did Sandy Hook.